Hello Stampers! Are you ready to think outside of the box today? Seriously, we're going to be using a box for this project. The background is a cardboard and I just used a flap off of one of my Stampin' Up boxes that I got shipped to me. So you could probably use any corrugated box that you have. So all you'll need is a piece of 3.5 by 5 cardboard. We're going to be using the Quiet Meadows Bundle today. Here's the stamp set. And then coordinating with it are the dies. Look at all those flower dies. This set makes me so happy because all of these images just about can be used for silhouettes against really pretty skies on your card projects. So we're going to be using some of these dies today. I'm going to show you what we'll be using. I cut these two out of gold foil along with a butterfly, and they all come out of this die set. So we're going to be using those, and I'm setting those aside. I cut those out using my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're also going to be cutting out this label that there's a die for also. This piece here, I cut it out of early Espresso. So we got that done. I'm going to set that aside. And that's what we used out of our dies. For our sentiment piece, I'm using the You're Too Kind sentiment. And I stamped it just on a little piece of Crumb Cake and then cut it out. And I stamped it in soft suede ink. So we have that done, and we're going to set that aside also. We're just moving right along here. So for our background, I'm going to start on that. I have my piece of cardboard here. Like I said, it's 3.5 by 5. You can find all the dimensions for all the pieces to this card down below this video. Just click Show More, and you'll see them down there along with all the product links. And when you shop with me, you can get 10 tutorials for the month that are exclusive to my customers, free of charge. They'll be emailed to you all month long as I create them. Place your orders and get this month's tutorial package. So for this cardboard, we're going to take off the top layer, and one layer will peel off a little bit easier than the other. You just kind of have to pull on it. I pull a little bit on one side, and then I pull a little bit on the other side until you get all that corrugated that's inside showing. Okay, and then we're going to rip off chunks of this corrugated part and leave some to get this look. And I just take a pair of paper snips and kind of gouge at it a little bit to get it started, and then you just start ripping it off. You want it kind of rough looking. You don't want it really super smooth. I did want quite a bit in the middle gone, so that's why I'm working on the middle here. You can leave as much as you want. It just kind of looks like it's against some kind of rough wall when you put your items on your little cardboard panel here. So I'm going to take just a couple chunks out of the side here. I'll take some of this bottom off. This is just a fun rip and tear project. Who'd have thought I'd be having you tear cardboard up, right? But it's so fun. Okay, so there's that. And I think I'll just take a little bit off of this side here. Make it look a little chunkier. And when you get it where you want it, you can clean it up a little bit if you'd like. You can use your paper snips and kind of work at it just a little bit to get some pieces up that you don't want in the background there. Makes it stick up so you can grab a hold of it. Of course, I cut my nails off just a couple days ago. That would have been helpful. Have my long nails. There we go. So we have our little chunky paper there. Get rid of all my scraps. So next I want this part that we left here to show up a little bit more. So I'm going to take some soft suede ink and a blending brush, and I'm just going to blend these pieces that are still left just to get a little color on them. Really helps them stand out against the solid part. There we go. And next we're going to add our gold pieces on. See, we're already to start putting our die cuts on here. And I'm going to start with this long one. I think I'll just put it right there. And we'll add this butterfly, and I'm going to use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals for some of this. You can use dimensionals, you can use your glue dots. I'm not going to tack down the whole thing. So there's my butterfly. I think I'll want it right about there. And then this piece, I'm going to try to hide some dimensionals on it. There's some flowers here I can use to put little dimensionals behind. Let's see, how about that one there? And you can use little glue dots too. If you have places where dimensional won't work, you can roll up a glue dot and put on it. That'll help tack it down also. It won't pop up, but you might need some spots where it is where you have the corrugated behind it. You don't want it popped up as much. Put one down there on a stem. Almost forgot to take my little backings off. Those wouldn't have worked real well without the backings taken off. There we go. I'll just put this on there. This is a very dimensional looking card. I mean, things aren't going to lay flat on it, and it's just going to look just great when it's done though. Okay, so I'm going to use some mini glue dots for this flower piece here. Like I said, I'm just taking my finger and I'm rolling that glue dot up to make it small. And then you can really put them in little tight places. Like on your stems. This is just a fun little project. It's very unexpected. Somebody's going to say, well, that's cardboard on there. Or they'll try to figure out exactly what it is. Okay. So this one, I think I just want it kind of crossed over here at the bottom. And tack down. There we go. And anything sticking off the bottom, you just whack it off with your paper snips. So there's our gold foil pieces, and then we're going to add some ribbon to it. I have some gold ribbon here. Add to the bottom. You may be able to hear the wind howling. It is really going out there today. I'm going to use the same mini glue dots to tack down my ribbon ends on the back of my panel. Just need one for each side. Here we go. And I'm going to take another length of ribbon for my bow. I'm going to slide it under here. Give it a tie. A fairly small bow here, and let's trim the little legs. So there's our bow, and now we're ready for our sentiment. I have my little die cut label that I made out of early Espresso, and I'm going to adhere my sentiment to the center of this label. Like I said, I stamped it in early Espresso just on a piece of not soft suede, but Crumb Cake cardstock, and then adhere it to the center of that label. And then we're going to adhere it to this panel, and I'm going to use those mini glue dots again for this. I like to use quite a few on here. Just to keep it so it doesn't fall off, because you got quite a few layers going on this panel. And I'm going to kind of tuck it under my bow, add it on there. Okay, now we're ready to put it on our card front. I have a card base here that's soft suede, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then an early Espresso panel that's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Inside I put an early Espresso panel that is 4 by 5.25, and then I have a Crumb Cake panel that's 3 3/4 by 5 on the inside also. So now we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. Not pretty. And we're recycling, which makes me very happy. You can get a lot of cards out of a box, I'm sure. And it's unusual. And there you have it. There's today's card project. I hope you enjoyed this project and you give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's unusual. Thanks for joining me. Bye.